Hey there, this is just a quick video for week 2, part 2 on paragraph templates and how are a couple of ways that you can structure your paragraph so that even if you are in a bind for time and you have to respond to something, you're able to formulate a paragraph relatively quickly because you have the 5 to 6 things that you need in order to have a good, concise paragraph. Let's get started. So template number 1 that I'm going to show is the Texas layout. So the Texas layout is not a style from Texas. It's just an acronym, which means that every letter represents a whole word. So when we do that, it's actually topic, explain, example, analysis, and summary. And I know that example should not be an X, but it just helps with the whole layout. So now, kind of like PEMDAS in math, you know a format for a paragraph. So let's go ahead and try this right now. I would do it with, I would go along with me, or, have your own idea. Another question that I could have is, what is better? A horse-sized duck or 100 duck-sized horses? And you can build a paragraph from there. But right now, I'm just going to fix on who's better, dogs or cats. And given that I have a clear bias towards my own dog, I'm going to go with dogs are better. So here are some sentence frames that I offered. So the topic, dogs or cats are better because. My example is this is because of the fact that. And then explain. I give reasoning why to my topic sentence. Example, I give a direct quote or proof. Analysis, which is the so what does that prove? And how does that prove that my topic sentence was right? And then summary or conclude sentence. So let's look at topic. So the T in Texas is topic. And for that, I just said dogs are better than cats because of their emotional compatibility towards humans. Again, I don't have any evidence yet. It's just a claim or a topic sentence that I'm making to help build my paragraph. Then I go into explain. And I will use that as because of the fact that. And I write, this is because there's a symbiotic relationship where serotonin is released to both parties when dogs are pet. That's my explain. Again, there's no true example or evidence yet, which is the next sentence. Example. A potential benefit is shown when Dr. Rebecca Johnson asks, and there's my comma and then quote, could a dog help mediate serotonin levels in order to help depressed patients? End quote. And then the author was Weaver, and article's right below there, so I have proof that I have evidence there. Analysis, the so what, how does that evidence prove that my topic sentence was right when I built the argument that dogs are better than cats? So I write, what this shows is that there may be medical benefits of owning a dog, thus proving their superiority to cats. And then finally, to wrap it all up, I have summary, which is overall it is apparent that dogs are much more beneficial when compared to cats given their therapeutic attributes. Again, you can spin it in any other way. What about cats? How they have their own dependency and we don't have to take care of them as much. There are benefits to cats as well. Just whenever you're building a paper, the easiest thing to do is specify what is it. The more that you go into using both sides, it's more difficult to have your argument be built. It's not impossible, and it does work if you know what you're doing, but the easiest way is just to have an idea that this is right and the other idea is wrong. And then you have a whole paragraph that I wrote, and that helps right there. So that's just one example for templating out a paragraph. The other example is She's Right. A little bit more complicated. And it's broken down into this. So you have topic sentence, which is basically like a mini thesis statement. Your concrete detail. So it's a different idea of explaining versus having that. So instead of having explain then example, it's going to be the concrete detail or your evidence. And then your comprehension. What does that evidence mean? Analysis. And then it just shows like why does that prove your topic sentence? Concluding sentence. And then we add a segue or transition sentence from there. So the example that I use for this, and we have, if you go to the resources tab at the very end of this page, I have a link to actual like paper copies if you want to look at it that way or just have it printed out. But yeah, the topic sentence for Harrison Bergeron is a short story about people having handicaps put onto them so that everyone's on an equal playing field. So example that I write is in the short story Harrison Bergeron. In the short story Harrison Bergeron, equality was taken to an extreme where people became handicapped for their abilities. Then I go into my evidence. This is seen when the text describes George being too intelligent and needing, quote, a little mental handicap radio in his ear. So the radio is blaring music so that he can't focus because he's smarter than other people. Comprehension, what does that mean? So I explained the radio would be extremely loud so that George couldn't use his natural abilities to his advantage. And it's assumed that natural abilities was his intelligence. Analysis, the so what? This is taken to an extreme because instead of using equality to bring everyone up, it was used to bring everyone down. Just as an example. And this is a police state in Ukraine during 2013. But really, it was just the idea that if we try to, suppress people and make everyone equal that way instead of bringing everyone up, it's the makings of a tyranny or totalitarian government. Conclusion, I basically just summarize right there. Then I go into my segue or transition sentence to a new paragraph. Say this, the radicalism is not only shown on a personal level, but also at a societal level. So now I look at the personal issues of having these handicaps, and then in my next paragraph, I'm going to introduce how society is affected by that. And then I write it all in a paragraph. And if you want a handout for both of these, they're also in the resources page. And that's about it for paragraph templating. Please, if you're looking at this, make sure that you're also looking at the MLA guide.